This week, guys, we're going to be talking about how to appropriately measure your progress. It's very easy to be in the ebbs and flows. If you find like you're just not quite there with how to get the right amount, or excuse me, the right focus for your progress and measuring, this one's for you. My name is Ryan Sanders. I'm with Project Fresh, owner, CEO, and for over the last 13 years, I've helped people take control of their health, optimize performance, and build sustainable habits that actually stick. As a certified strength and conditioning specialist and certified sports nutrition coach, I work with everyone from busy professionals to athletes, taking them through the real world scenarios and flows, if you will, methodologies, the science of the challenges that we face in fitness and health overall. Here you're going to learn of stories, systems, and other aspects of what we do with our clients that make long-term wellness absolutely possible. With that being said, I just mentioned two different seasons. Season of athletics. Maybe if you follow us and you have kids and they're learning sports, or maybe they're a little bit older, getting through high school into college, and they're getting more competitive and ranking up to finishing formal schooling and moving into a professional field, whatever it might be, entrepreneurial or working for another company. And that's another season, right? These are seasons that you learn a lot of different things, but not always do we learn how to eat well and move well. And so in that context today, I wanted to tap on the idea of how to measure your progress and do so accurately. And this weekend, after we've had a pretty consistent, or I personally had a pretty consistent run of hitting 3 days a week. This week, I'm going to move into probably 5 to 6 days a week, entering into a cutting season, up over 240 pounds. It's probably a little bit heavier than I want to be. And so I'm going to get into cutting season before we go into the holidays. We'll lean out a little bit. And back when I was in high school and college, I didn't know how to exercise in a way that would progress me to where I wanted to be. I mean, I knew I needed to lift heavy. I know I needed to stretch occasionally, which never happens. And as far as food goes, it was a seafood diet, right? Whatever I saw, I ate it. And that was my game plan. So coming out of college, getting into my professional career, I got connected with the company. I was a client first. I learned how to exercise right and well and consistently and push myself hard. I learned how to eat well and do so consistently. And over 6 months, lost 33 pounds, nice and steady pace. I was down into the 180s, which is crazy, at 22, 23, and never been that light before in my life. Even when I was a kid, I weighed more, or about the same at the very least. And so going through that season, which most people don't believe me when I say that, I was so fat I could not see my toes past my stomach. Those were some hard years. I was able to learn how to do this well. And I think in the context too, when you look at your overall long window, it's really easy to be focused. If I can make this point number one, when you're measuring your progress, it's very easy to focus on a very short window of time where you feel like I haven't seen anything happen in these last days or these last weeks, or maybe in the last couple of months. And if you don't go back some time, it's very easy to get discouraged in where you are, especially if it's a new season. If you're pursuing things and you're trying new things, and you're looking for new goals, it's very easy to get discouraged. However, I would also offer, on the other hand, if you are in a repeat season where you're just looking to maintain and be the same person, and you get outside of the range you want to be in, it's very easy to be hard on yourself as well, because now you get into the I should be's, right? So I think it's really important to make sure you look back from time to time, maybe more often, and remember where you came from, because that really is an encouragement to keep you moving forward, because you're always going to have a new reference point. And once you hit a new peak, it's very easy to come downhill. I mean, in the analogy of climbing mountains, once you hit the peak, there's no more climbing, right? You have nothing but to come down. It's pretty natural for us to hit that peak, to have that moment. Hopefully it's longer than a few minutes, a few hours, a few days. Hopefully it's something you can enjoy. But oftentimes I've seen it so many times with all the hundreds of clients I've worked with that as you work your way down that hill, you go back to old patterns, you find yourself back into old circumstances related to your health. And now you're on that new peak, right? You might be going back up the way you came down, but ideally you want to keep it moving forward either way. The goal is to find a ridge, if you will, where you're peaking and dropping just a little bit and maintaining that ridge. And I think that'll be what I'll do for point number two, is maintain the ridge will be my point. But for number one, look back and remember where you came from. And even if you're just getting started, that's all right. You have made the decision to do something about your current state of health. And I think that needs to be celebrated, because what you were before was someone who was not seeing it, may not be your fault, or you're choosing not to see it. And now you've decided to do something about it. So I think that's very important that you remember that no matter what your starting point looks like, you are making an effort to move away from that person, that lifestyle, and work your way into something new so you can experience something new that you have decided to experience, whatever that might be. Okay, number two, I want you to walk the ridge, right? So that means that if we're going to have these points that aren't too far apart, high and low, we're maintaining, we're staying in that range. That means we need to know how to measure, right? So a lot of times I like to tell my clients, how do you look? How do you feel? And how does your body move? Are you checking those boxes? Are you liking those three things? Or are there things that need to change for you to say, yes, I do like how I look. I do like how I feel. I do like how my body moves and moving forward. So that third one, for example, how my body moves. Are the joints feeling good when you work out, when you go and play, when you go and do the activities on the weekend? Are you able to do, let's say you like to play basketball. Are your knees feeling good at the end of running 4, 5, 6 games? Or are they constantly in pain? If you're an overhead sports player, playing volleyball, tennis, pickleball, any of those sports overhead, is your shoulders girdle, are they feeling okay? Everything feeling good across the shoulders 360? Or are they super tight and constantly bothering you? Okay. Or my wife and I, we do Olympic weightlifting, so everything's overhead with that. Are we able to support those hundreds of pounds and not feel like our shoulders are going to tear or explode, right? So that's just a couple different examples. But are you moving in a way that's consistent and that you like, or do things need to change? All right. And then if you're in that range, right, you know what the peak is. I've had a couple of great weeks. I'm peaking. I'm feeling fantastic. I get sick. Stomach is really bad. Whatever it is. And then you find yourself kind of going on that lower end. We want to recover well. We want to give ourselves the rest, the stress relief, the recovery time, whatever we need to be able to come back and then start trending our way back up. But not let that dip be so low that climb gets harder on the way back up, right? Okay, so stay along the ridge. Number three, our last one for today, and then we'll wrap this up, is I think this is the main point that had me go to measuring progress today specifically, and that was decision making is king. And I don't have a positive or a negative spin to that. I know a lot of times when we say things are king or is king, that's kind of that positive, like upward trend. This is more neutral. I would say that whatever decisions you make are the actions you'll take, and those actions dictate the experience you have. So over the weekend, relatively chill, nothing crazy. One decision that I loved that we made, my wife and I, although it was at the end of the summer, granted, it didn't happen until it's getting cooler now. It's probably barely 60 degrees before some rain clouds came in and we got some rain. But we went and sat outside on the porch, the two of us with our dog, her dog, my wife's dog, Morphe. And we just sat out there and chilled for a little bit. It got cold. We went inside because it wasn't, the greatest temperatures, but it was nice to just be outside and spend some time out of the house, because usually most of the weekend we're in the house. And, not bad. It's a nice way to relax. But when you're in the house, the majority of the week, it's nice to get out of the house. So that was a win, I think, and a good decision. On the flip side, we've been working on actively cutting down on how much we eat out. I think our entree, our dinner was fine, but dessert was a little on the processed side. There was ice cream and some candy toppings and stuff. I can feel it today. So are those Is it bad to have ice cream with candy toppings? No. If you do it often, is it bad? It can be bad, right, on your system. But I think those are the decisions where you have to live with them, obviously. But now you decide, do I want to keep doing those things? Yes or no? Do I want to keep sitting out on the porch with my wife and having that relaxation, a little bit of outside time? Yes, it was really enjoyable. Do I want to keep having the shake every weekend? Probably not. Probably want to tamper that down a little bit and be a little less, maybe once a month or so. I've noticed as we've moved into our mid 30s that those kind of things hit harder, make you have that kind of disrupted gut a little bit longer. I think sleep plays into it too. But ultimately, if you realize the decisions you make and you can find yourself in a position like I am saying yes, no, that's fantastic. If you blow right past that, health is going to get harder for you when you get further down the road. Just a side note caveat. But I think decisions are king in the sense that you control what you decide to do. No one can stop you. And if you're in a relationship where you're saying somebody is choosing to tell you what to do, then it's time to make some decisions related to that relationship, or at least have some serious conversations that state, hey, you're not in control of my life. I can only control the things I can control, and I'm going to choose to make better decisions. Because at the end of the day, the buck stops with each of us. Nobody else in our sphere is responsible for our decision making. And if you want to say, well, it's because of the people I'm around, well, you chose to be around them. And whether we like it or not, we are most like those that we are spend our time with. I know the old saying goes, you're most like the 5 people you spend the most time with. Well, you decided to be around those individuals. So if you're willing to make that change and be around people that you want to be like, or that are like what you want to be like, that's going to make a big decision. Okay. So number one, first and foremost, with how to measure your progress is just remember to use those prior anchor points of success or prior anchor points of decisions that brought you to where you are, even if you're brand new. Number 2, ride that ridge so you stay in that goal range. Number 3, decisions are king at the end of the day. So that being said, we do stuff like this every Monday at 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for our Monday Lunch Live, where we're covering different things from progress, like we did today, to more specifics and exercises and nutrition, tactical. We try to bounce back and forth, but I thought this one was appropriate for today. So if you guys happen to come into the chat and connect with us or see this video after we've recorded it, please go ahead and drop something in our chat, letting us know, hey, Ryan, I would like to see XYZ. I work with people every single day of the week. I just secured a new contract with the company where we'll be doing some mobility work, which we're excited about. And so every single day we're working with individuals, busy professionals, those who want to see an increase in elevation. As we like to say, our tagline is elevate your fresh. They want to see their life elevated or lifestyle elevated so that they can have that more ideal life. And that is exactly what we do. Fitness, recreation, education, mostly nutrition. Sanctity, that's your spiritual health, spiritual soul health. And then H is your overall health. So that's what FRESH stands for. And if you're new to us, we're glad to have you. And we look forward to having you back. Please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. Please like this. We love the engagement. Please drop in the comments what stood out to you today and what we talked about as far as how to measure your progress. We'll see you on the next one. Hope you guys have a fantastic week. And we're full-blown fall. Definitely saw some snow in the mountains a week ago. It's warming back up. But now we're in that kind of bipolar season, if you will, that up and down season of hot, cold before the winter comes. And I know it'll be here probably by the end of the month, the way things go here in Colorado. So anyway, have a great one, guys. We'll see you on the next one.